It was one of those nights when silence feels heavier than noise, when every tick of the clock sounds like a footstep in an empty hall. Tonight, you'll hear 3 true stories, stories of people who were completely alone, in places they thought were safe, until something decided they weren't. These are not ghost tales made for campfires. These are the moments when ordinary nights turned into someone's worst memory. Let's start with the first story, The Cabin Visitor. In 2016, a young photographer named Daniel rented a small cabin deep in the woods of Oregon. He was there to capture night shots of the Milky Way, miles away from any town. The place was old but charming, a single-room cabin with creaky floors, a wood stove, and wide windows facing the forest. The caretaker had left him a note. "No cell service. If you need help, use the landline. Don't leave the door unlocked, even if you step out." Daniel laughed at that. The first night went fine, cold, quiet, with nothing but the wind and owls. But on the second night, around 1:30 a.m., while reviewing his camera, he heard a crunch outside, footsteps, slow and deliberate, circling the cabin. He froze, staring at the window. The light inside made it impossible to see out. He switched it off. Darkness swallowed him, and in that silence he heard breathing. Faint, almost pressed against the glass. He reached for his flashlight and pointed it toward the window. Nothing, just the reflection of his terrified face. Minutes crawled by. Then, 3 knocks on the back door. Slow, heavy. Someone was there. He didn't move. The knocks came again, louder. He forced himself to whisper, "Who's there?" No answer. The landline was dead. He grabbed his camera and switched it to night mode, aimed through the window, and saw a figure at the tree line. Tall, still, staring directly at him. He zoomed in, heart pounding, and realized the figure was wearing something like an animal skull over its head. Daniel backed away, heart racing. He locked himself in the tiny bathroom and waited until dawn. When the caretaker arrived the next morning, Daniel rushed outside. The caretaker's face turned pale. "You didn't go outside, did you?" he asked. Daniel shook his head. The caretaker pointed at the dirt just below the window. There were barefoot prints, large ones, leading around the cabin, and next to them a freshly killed deer with its head missing. Daniel packed his gear that same morning and never went back. The second story is one that still haunts an emergency dispatcher named Claire. It's called The Call That Wouldn't End. Claire had worked night shifts for 5 years. She'd handled every kind of call, from car crashes to break-ins. But one night, around 2 a.m., she got a call that changed everything. A trembling voice of a young